Jaya Raya. Sorry, some recording just problems. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhara Yashodandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Jaya Radha Gopi Vallabha Radha Gopi Vallabha Radha Jaya Radha Jaya Nitai Patita Bhavana Hari Jaya Nitai Patita Bhavana Hari Jaya Jaya Yo Vishnupada Brahmacharya Gastotra Srimad Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Nanda Prabhu Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayat Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirvoti Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. 3, chapter 31, text number 9. 10 happened. 9. Should have 9. 3:31:10. आरम्भ्य सप्तमान मासी आरम्भ्य सप्तमान मासा लब्धो लब्धो बोधो विपीतः लब्धो बोधो विपेतः नैकत्रास्ते सुति नैकत्रास्ते स्तुति वातेर् विष्टभूत इव सोदरः आरम्भ्य सप्तमान मासा लब्धबोधोऽपि विपेतः नैकत्रास्ते श्रुतवातेर् विष्टभूत इव सोदरः आरभ्य सप्तमान मासा लब्धबोधो विवेपितः नैकत्रास्ते श्रुतिवाते निष्ठाभूत इव सोदरः Translation and purport by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, endowed with the development of consciousness from the 7th month after his conception, the child is tossed downward by the aids, then press the embryo during the week preceding delivery. Like a worm born in the same filthy abominable cavity, he cannot remain in one place. The translation. Thus, endowed with the development of consciousness from the 7th month after his conception, the child is tossed downward by the air that press the embryo during the week preceding the delivery. Like the worms born in the same filthy abdominal cavity, he cannot remain in one place. Yeah, in the abdomen. Purport. At the end of seventh month, the child is moved by bodily air and does not remain in the same place. For the entire uterine system becomes slackened before delivery. The worms have been described here as Sodara. Sodara means born of the same mother. Since the child is born from the womb of the mother, and the worms are also born of fermentation within the womb of the same mother, under the circumstances of the child, under the circumstances, the child and the worms are actually brothers. We are very anxious to establish universal brotherhood among human beings. But we should take into consideration that even the worms are our brothers, what to speak of other living entities. Therefore, we should be concerned about all living entities. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Gnananjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrayata Sadhanaragam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Radha Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam He Krishna Karma Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kam karoti vachalam bhangam gangayate girim. Yat kurpatam vande Sri Guru Dinataranam Paramandamadam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining us today's Bhagavatam class discussion. So, this section of Srimad Bhagavatam is actually giving the knowledge of how painful the death is, birth is. Because we consider all other things like, Janma among the in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is knowledge? He says 18 items. Among them, one of them is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. Somebody who can perceive the unfortunate situation of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. They are in knowledge. So he also gives entire list of the activities, different aspects. One should have to actually acquire knowledge. So somebody who can acquire the spiritual knowledge, who can acquire, progress in spiritual life, is one who can perceive Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi are the sources of suffering or evil. That person is actually knowledge. So among them, like when I first heard, like when I was very young that time, somebody said, but so some of our life is to not take birth again. I was really shocked. Not to take birth again, then where will I be without taking birth? that is disadvantage. Like for example, when you go to a place, then I said you don't have a room, then you should be outside somewhere else. So not to take birth is a disadvantage position. Why they are saying like, goal is not to take birth. I want to take birth, like that I initially thought. But later on, when we keep on progressing in acquiring spiritual knowledge, I came to know that birth is the root cause of all sufferings. Birth is the root, because we have birth in this material world, we have jara, vyadi, and mrityu. Birth is the root cause. But the root plays in taking birth in this material world. And who is responsible for us to take birth in this material world is ourselves, who want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Now, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita very nicely about different. I will just go through this little bit and also can discuss on each of them. So, along with Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Krishna also explains about I think 18 elements or uh, elements of 18 elements of knowledge. Amanitvam means humility, no pridelessness. Like if we see the great examples of our uh, uh, Sambandha, Vidya and are Shiksha Gurus of our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Even though they are very much qualified, they consider themselves very meek and humble. They went in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they presented themselves as the most foolish persons. People call me Pandit, but I kind of Pandit, and I have the audacity to accept their prizes. So that actually attracts the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in this material world, even a beggar can be proud of his board, begging board. Who have like aluminum begging bowl. That person has uh, like plastic begging bowl. So even a beggar can be proud of his begging bowl. So when compared to the other living entities, now we always compare to someone who they are actually either higher or lower, and this will lead to either pride or depression. If you compare with somebody who is doing well, better than you, then that will lead to depression. But when you compare to somebody who is actually below you, then you will compare to pride. Right? This person is insignificant before me, like that. So that humility, amanitvam. So that is the example. Like even though we have the qualification, even though you are well qualified, even though you are a capable person, but still you take humbler person. You consider everything is happening by the will of Krishna. Only by Krishna's mercy everything is happening. That person can never be proud. Like humility is the natural quality of a devotee. Like somebody says, right, some like contrary terms, like heat and cold, like that. No, pride devotee is also like a devotee who is proud of anything. Then he is not a devotee at all. So then ahimsa, like if you see the example of Krishna says, amanitvam, adambitvam, pridelessness. We already discussed all those two. And then ahimsa, when it comes to ahimsa, very good example is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, even though the executioners, when he was sentenced to be beaten up in the 22 marketplaces, he was still praying for them, and he never had any tinge of enmity or any wrong thinking about them. Even Maharaj says, when they started beating you, I actually sent my Sudarshan Chakra to cut their heads off. But you are constantly praying for their well-being. You are constantly praying, and I don't want to displease you. What I did, I covered your body with my body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows his entire body, the back of his body is beaten up and very much in bad shape. So that is the quality. Like no, we should, even though if anybody does anything knowingly or unknowingly some mistake, we should have the ability to forgive them and pray for them. That kind of person, then only you will become dear to Krishna. Of course, one may say, like, now, what about the justice? What about, like, now being like accountable for what their sins? That thing will be taken care by the mega, the what you call, the already made arrangement of like social system or judicial system or something like that. But at the same time, we should not give them the opportunity to exploit. So what you do, you have like some valuable items, mm, and you kept in your car or in your house, and you intentionally shows everybody that I have these valuable items, and don't lock your car or no, don't lock your home, and don't arrange proper security. What will happen? It will instigate the selfishness, and it will instigate this lower nature in others to steal it. Uh, somebody I came across interesting fact. Like, I don't know. I should not say this, but see, like one some ladies, they are actually very much like they somebody asking them to dress very well, like don't expose your body like that, come decently like that. Then they made so much drama saying that how can you demand, like how can you tell or don't know what to dress and what not dress, you know? So then somebody said, no, it's not like that. Like, no, you will not receive good respect. No, I don't need any respect. Then you say, okay, it will actually, attract evil-minded men towards you. Then that is their problem. They have to be punished, not, not say anything to me, but they need to be punished. So that is the cruelty that is there. Means like when you think when you are agitating somebody, it means, and when you have the ability to agitate somebody, not agitating somebody is the ahimsa. Or when even though like if somebody exploits or somebody speaks harsh towards us, and but tolerating it, even if you have the ability to uh, contract or no, or even physically or whatever way you can contract that person, but still not doing that is called ahimsa. Ahimsa is not only towards animals. Of course, in this verse, Prabhupada says even the worms in the bod, body of the mother, they are our brothers. Sodara. Srimad Bhagavatam also says that they are our brothers. We have the example of Vasudeva Datta, right? Vasudeva, not Vasudeva Datta. Vasudeva of Kurma Kshetra. He was a Brahmana, and he was inflicted by this terrible disease of leprosy. In those days, you don't have cure for the leprosy. So what he used to do, he used to have a lot of worms coming out of his body, and these worms, like they are so excessive, sometimes they used to fall off from his body. So this Vasudeva, he's not identifying with his body. He says, I'm not this body. I'm the spirit soul residing in this body, and these are my roommates. Hmm? And they also have the equal rights as I have the right to stay in this body. So whenever any worm from his body falls down, he used to pick it up and put in his body again. So now compare that situation with anybody living with us, fellow brahmacharis, a wife, husband, or children giving us hard time. How far can we, can we tolerate? How far can we, actually, these worms are eating away the body of Vasudeva. Hmm? But still, he is tolerating us. You have the same right as me living on this body. So when we compare that with Vasudeva, then our things, like somebody not respecting us, somebody maybe accidentally or unknowingly spoke something insulting words towards us, and we cannot tolerate their presence. Now we try to try to insult them. So to be able to know, to be non-violent, even to the worms in the body also. Like when I went to India, there are like so many mosquitoes. They have mosquito bat. They put bat like that, then put sound. It will come like it will make some sound, and then that mosquito will die. And I was sitting in my sister's home, and they had this bat. So as soon as any mosquitoes are biting, then they put bat. Then I also started doing that. I said, they asked me a question: is it allowed in the in this country to kill a mosquito? So I don't know. So I said, okay, some like no. Actually, our guru says the snakes should be killed because they inflict their poisonous and they're envious. In the same way, like the mosquitoes also, they're sucking your blood. And we are not on that level. At the same time, we should take the precautions, not kill personally, but actually we can burn some incense or oil or anything like that, so that they will be repelled off. So that is the position. Like, but we are not on the level of Vasudeva, and we should actually identify our own level, and we should do the thing. Is tolerance, bearing insults of honor and dishonor, shanti. So somebody honors us and somebody dishonors us. When somebody honors us, what we think is we are better than others immediately develops pride in us. And Krishna says, somebody who is honored, dishonored is the worse than that. So, and if somebody dishonors us, what should be our thinking? Okay, I'm supposed to be much more. I deserve much more worse than what I'm getting from this. Because when we get dishonor, actually the sinful reactions are getting burnt away. That's what we have to think. The sinful reactions which I have committed are getting atoned now. So honor, happiness and distress. Somebody may be able to tolerate a distress but not happiness. Why? What will they do in the happiness? They make such a wrong decisions and such a wrong things. That will impact their life in a long run. And then Arjam means straightforwardness and non-diplomatic. So the devotees are always encouraged to be simple-hearted. Means, like for example, outsiders, they will smile on your face, and they have different opinion in their mind. I also came across somewhere in our circle also. They go go and talk ill about others. But when that person comes to know, like if the person smiles and behaves very well in front of you, and that person goes and to the other person, maybe other devotee, and says, "Oh, this devotee has is like that. He don't know how to speak. He looks like he's from a village, like that data." So that when that person comes to know how you spoke about him, that will give a lot of pain. Because if you are your real well-wisher, you may have to either directly say, or if he is the way he is acting, the way he is talking, the way he is behaving is not good, you may have to maintain distance. Or if you can't do that, then you can actually tell to a person who is friendly with him, so that he can be educated. Of course, everybody has faults. Nobody's perfect. He can improve himself. So when we are in devotional circle, we should think that we are the servants. That's why Prabhupada says, right? Prabhupada says, call everyone as Prabhuji and Mataji. Nobody should be called with their names or anything like that. So that is also kind of service to them, like educating them about if their attitude or if their behavior is not appreciable, then we have to bring that to the supervisor, the authority, or or any friendly devotee who is friendly with him, so that he will be able to correct himself. If he is not able to correct after bringing to him the notice also, then we should adjust, try to maintain the distance. Then Acharya Upasana. Krishna says the next quality is Acharya Upasana. Means to serve the spiritual authority, to serve a bona fide spiritual master. This is the by doing so, like now we actually declare war on our false ego. So it is the best way and easiest process of serving spiritual master. Actually, when a child brings up within the home atmosphere, the child will have mother and father and some siblings and some grandparents. Everybody will have the affection towards that child. What the child has to be taught, they will not be able to teach something. Only a guru can teach him. Uh, Guru is like it is said that there is difference between a guru and a trainer or a shikshak. Guru is somebody who teaches us spiritual, the devotion towards Krishna, or give us training in spirituality. He is actually the guru, and all others, like somebody who teaches us some skills, some all the education. They are not gurus actually. They are trainers. Okay, or so serving a bona fide guru without motivation. Okay, that is more important. Without motivation, we have to serve Guru as we serve Krishna. Ahetuki apratihata. Our service should be unmotivated and uninterrupted. And then Saucham. The nice example of Saucham is the Raghav Pandit in Chetan Charitamrita. Okay. So whatever we offer, whatever kind of service we do in to deities or to Vaishnavas, and ourselves also, we should maintain utmost cleanliness. Cleanliness is the one of the quality of a devotee. Cleanliness of the mind, cleanliness of the body, or cleanliness of the surroundings. So that is one of the foremost quality of the devotee, or somebody which qualifies one to attain knowledge. And the next quality Krishna mentions is thyrium, the steadiness and determined to make progress in spiritual life. Good example is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Maharaj says all Prahlad Maharaj has to do is do his bhajan, nirjan bhajan. You don't come out of your palace room. Do your chanting, do your kirtan within the palace. And when you come in front of his father Hiranyakashipu or in front of public, he pretends as if he is not a devotee. So, but Prahlad Maharaj is very, very much determined. He doesn't want to keep it within himself, but he is determined to follow the path of devotion service without any duplicity or without any but when Hiranyakashipu gave him so much of hard time, but still he never gave up his determination to do bhakti. But when it comes to us, even small quarrel or small when it rains and it falls, when there is snowfall or something like that, or even some little bit of disturbance in the family, immediately what we do, first thing to go is the spiritual practice. Of course, later on, like some things might be affected, but first thing to get impacted is our sadhana, our svadhyaya, our sangha, and everything. So that kind of determination we should have. We should be determined, like whatever comes into life, I'm not going to go down in my spiritual practices. And then Atma Vinigraha, the self-control or rejecting unfavorable things. Rupa Goswami says, right? Anukulesya sankalpa pratikulesya varjanam. We should know with the help of Guru or Shastras and with the help of sadhus, we should know what to accept and what to reject. If we keep on accepting everything, whatever comes into our life, then we'll not make much progress. But a good example is Vasudev Datta. Vasudev Datta, he has this quality of going everywhere and listening everyone. Like some Mayavadi invites him to some katha, he goes there because he doesn't want to He doesn't want them. He doesn't want to give, like, no, he doesn't want to be harsh, rejecting their offer, and he doesn't want to displease them. So he goes and sits in the Mayavadi's Bhashya, Mayavad Sabha, and he listens to them. Even though if even he doesn't take anything, but still he goes and sits there and he takes the information. So when it comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict on that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected Vasudevadatta at one point of time. Says this Vasudevadatta, he comes and takes our association, and he also goes and takes the association of Mayavadis also. So that's why I don't want to see his face. Hmm? So means like we should know what to take and what not to take. Like if you see, like, right now, like we are in the age of mass destruction and mass distraction. Mass destruction is like we have good number of weapons, missiles, atomic bombs, and all those things. More dangerous than mass destruction is mass distraction. Mass destruction will kill you in only one life. At most, you lose your physical body. If some atomic bomb fails upon us, we may die. Our physical body may get destroyed. But the weapon of mass distraction, the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what else? There are so many weapons of mass distractions. Yeah. So all those things, what will they do? They will contaminate our mind, intelligence, and ego. And when this will contaminate this will bring us onto the bodily platform. This and our thinking of, like, we don't have to know some things. What is happening between India and China border, or what is happening, and we were given this information overloading so much, so that our our purity of the heart, um, our desires and our thinking will be mostly about all those things, unworthy things. So this will bring us life after life, life after life, life after life into this material again and again. That's why we should be very careful about all this information overloading. So we have to reject this, all those anukulasya sankalpa, means whatever is favorable to Krishna Bhakti, that we have to accept. And Pratikulasa Varjanam, whatever is not favorable, before watching, or if somebody wants to come and say something about other devotee, you should actually ask him, am I going to do any, is it going to help you, or am I involved in this, or is it, is there a possibility to do any service by hearing this? If you are not going to help him, if you're not going to help other devotee, or if you're not going to do any service based on what that person is giving, that sometimes some person comes and talks to us. He says they'll open up all their family problems, and or talks ill about others. So there, by listening to that, we are not able to do any good to them. Instead, we are actually doing contaminated. We will be meditating on them. So if you are not able to do anything positive, please don't, like, I will not be able to help in this regard in any way. Please try to find somebody to relieve your burden, because we are not able to help them anyway. So best thing to tell them or discuss with them is Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha, you don't have to listen vent off all your frustration on somebody. Instead, go and discuss Krishna Katha with them. Go and discuss about some pastime of Krishna. Whenever you meet some devotee, you mention some point about Krishna, or something about good about other devotees. That will actually improve our determination, and it will improve our self-control also. And then renunciation of the object of sense gratification, because sense gratification will bind us and will actually bring us, and ahankara, no falsity. So when it comes to renunciation of objects of sense gratification, like one time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to this Kurma Brahmana's house. Kurma Brahmana was a great devotee, he was a Grostha, and he was a great devotee of the Lord. As soon as the Lord comes, he worshipped them and he paid obeisance. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving, Kurma Brahmana says, I wanted to renounce my family and come along with you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't do that. It's not a, you are a great devotee, you are doing nice. And like no, but whatever you want to do, just chant holy name of Krishna and preach that preach others about Krishna. This will do good to you, also do good to others. You don't have to renounce your family and all those things. So we should know what to renounce and what to keep. Okay. And then ahankara, no false ego, and as we discussed, janma mrityu jara vyadhi. And then detachment from entanglement, even-mindedness, pleasant and unpleasant, and constant unallied devotion towards Krishna. So we are renouncing many things, but if you don't get attached to something positive, okay, you are renouncing talking about all the mundane things about nuisance, but if you don't talk about Krishna, then your mind will hanker so much, you will not be able to withstand it. So that's why you don't eat outside food, you eat only Krishna Prasad. You don't discuss any outside topic, you discuss about Krishna and the service to Guru and talk about the Vaishnavas. Yeah? So when you are renouncing something, we have to substitute it with something positive, something nourishing. And also, next quality Krishna says is secluded living, living in devotee association. So, secluded living means, like for example, in some places, not talking material things, but when in the same Tyaga is when you actually renounce the association of people in masses, it means that you have to renounce the association of non-devotees or materialistic personalities. And but the association of spiritual personalities like devotees, it is not considered as asatsanga. Okay, this is satsanga. And detachment from general mass, okay, and accepting the importance of self-realization. So when we have all this knowledge, then we accept this, like a Vedanta Sutra says, right? Atato Brahma Jignasa. Now that you got the human form of life, inquire about Krishna. So that is the goal. Okay, that and philosophical search for absolute truth. And we should be philosophically very much convinced about importance of self-relation and about who is God, what is that absolute truth. Then only we will be on the bona fide spiritual path. Okay. So those are the qualities which Krishna describes in 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So and very much related to like, this topic. Okay. So we'll end it here. If you have any questions or comments, you can take it. Right? Okay. Andhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhu ki jai, Ananda Purvesh.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna and Danvatana.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.